is up, everybody? You are listening to the #1 sports podcast on the planet. That's right, you are tuned in to the All Pro Nation podcast. Sponsored by allpronation.com, where fans have a voice. If you want to let your voice be heard on anything sports related, go check them out at allpronation.com, and you can have your voice be heard. My name is Chris Smith. You can catch me on Twitter at 318Realty. And as always, I got my good buddy Tanner Weber at purple_post. Tanner, how you doing, man?
Doing better. I'm all healed up from that brutal loss last week, so ready for the Super Bowl.
It only took you a couple weeks. It's okay. It took me a couple
I
weeks
get over
too.
it.
You know, it is what it is.
It's part of the game.
Yeah, I think the hard part is like now we gotta wait like 8 months for any meaningful football to be back on. It's kind of depressing, but there is a big but. Are you ready for this?
But the draft is coming.
No, better than the draft.
What?
Are you ready?
March Madness?
No, better than March Madness.
Those things help me get through this terrible time.
But guess what? In the year 2020, you will have something else help you get through, because the XFL is coming back.
Oh my gosh.
Tell me you're excited for the XFL.
Kinda. The one thing I don't know I'm not excited about is he said that, or the owner of the league said that no players with criminal records will be allowed to play.
Yeah,
I'm kind of upset about that, just because I was really looking forward to seeing Johnny Manziel.
Good luck with that. I would love to see Vince McMahon try. Vince McMahon's wrestlers can't even stay out of trouble. How does he think football players are going to stay out of trouble?
Good point.
I mean, come on, Vince. Come on, Vince. I'm kind of eager to see the XFL. Honestly, like, I was kind of disappointed when he said it wasn't going to be gimmicky like it was the last time. I kind of thought that was the appeal of the XFL, was, you know, dudes going out there just body slamming players. Like, I think I would be a little bit more intrigued if it was more scripted and theatrical instead of going the more traditional football route. But it is what it is. I'm not Vince McMahon. So this past week kind of sucked for football.
Yeah.
The all important Pro Bowl was this week. Can I just be completely honest with you?
Go ahead.
I didn't watch it.
It's all right. I didn't watch the whole thing either.
Not 1 minute of it. I can't say not 1 minute. I did go back and watch a bunch of highlights from it and read some pieces on it, but the Pro Bowl just didn't entertain me that much. It never has, and I spent the day just kind of doing knocking out that honeydew list a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But
I mean, it was a good game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not competitive because it doesn't look like the players are trying at all, but it's still a good game. 24-23.
Yeah.
AFC.
Ratings were up this year. And they've kind of been creeping back up ever since a few years ago when they made that nosedive. So they're trying, but let's just be real. The NFL All-Star Game is nothing compared to the NBA or Major League Baseball. Like, when you can't hit hard in football, it just kind of takes the appeal of football off, and it's like, it is what it is.
Yeah, they could just resort to a flag football league.
Yeah. Whereas the NBA All-Star Game and the MLB All-Star Game are way more interesting and fun to watch. So
I agree.
All right, so I guess let's talk a little Pro Bowl. Anything interesting from the Pro Bowl you would like to share?
Drew Brees' kids fighting on the sideline.
I loved it.
That was probably the best part.
Yeah. You got to think Drew Brees was thinking to himself, why the hell did I bring these kids down on the field?
Yeah, it just wasn't very competitive.
Yeah.
running backs are pretty much a non-feature in the Pro Bowl. The NFC had a total of 19 carries between their 4 or 5 running backs, or not. Well, 3 running backs and then a fullback, and Russell Wilson had 1 rush. And then the AFC had 12 rushes or 13 rushes. So running backs are a non-factor. It's basically just a passing game, and the cornerbacks and the safeties don't try very hard. So I'm actually surprised it was a fairly low-scoring game for players that don't try very hard.
Yeah.
Delaney Walker had the best game, I think, for the AFC. He had 2 touchdowns.
Better than Von
and he
Miller.
Was co-MVP with Von Miller.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I'd say Kyle Rudolph. Adam Thielen, both Vikings, probably had the best games for the NFC. Rudolph had 7 catches for 70 yards.
Did you know that Von Miller is the first defensive player in NFL history to win both a Super Bowl MVP and a Pro Bowl MVP?
I did not. That's a heck of a stat.
There you go. He's also the Denver Broncos' first Pro Bowl MVP ever. So,
wow.
There you go. Ben Roethlisberger's tribute to Ron Shazier was pretty cool. I like the cleats.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That he wore.
Play like crap though.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Marshawn Lattimore for the Saints. He was out there playing pretty aggressive, jumping routes and shit. And
rookies usually do that.
But I mean,
seems like
all together, it was just kind of it's the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more of an honorable thing just to play in it than it is anything else. So.
I know on Twitter you made the comment when Drew Brees threw the pass to Adam Thielen. Oh God, here comes the can't wait to see that connection next year crowd. And I was like, there's no way that crowd really exists. It does.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
It was all over Twitter.
Drives me nuts.
I had to get off Twitter because I can't even take anything like that serious.
It truly drives me crazy because Vikings fans are just setting themselves up for failure. There's no way Drew Brees is going to leave New Orleans, and they think that there's a chance that he may, and they're just setting themselves up for disappointment. So, if you're listening, just move on, maybe to Kirk Cousins or Alex Smith.
Yeah. Anyways, do you have anything else from the Pro Bowl that was?
I'd like to see it move back to Hawaii.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Weather probably would have been a little better.
Yeah, it was pretty rainy.
Yeah. I like that they've moved the game the week before the Super Bowl. You know, you're still in the habit of watching NFL football on Sunday, and the Super Bowl's not here yet, so subconsciously you don't realize that the season's over.
I've seen a suggestion that the NFL has actually been talking about moving it to the same city as the Super Bowl's in. That might be a suggestion.
I don't know. I like the moving it to a different city, and spread the love a little bit. I mean, because the host city for the Super Bowl
already gets enough attention.
I mean, it gets a whole freaking week.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you got to think. I lived in New Orleans the last time New Orleans hosted the Super Bowl. And it's just a pain. It's a pain getting around town if you got to work or you're not taking part in any of the festivities. It's a pain. Mm-hmm. And then so having to do that for 2 weeks, I think it's just too much on a city. I don't know if many cities could handle both events. So I hope they keep them separate. And by keeping the Pro Bowl separate from the Super Bowl, and then you have the draft now that they're bouncing around. It kind of just gives every market a chance to host something, because not every market's going to be able to host the Super Bowl, and so having the Pro Bowl and the draft it's kind of exciting. So I like a different city for all 3 events. Personally.
Yeah, I'm cool with it. I just know I saw it tossed around somewhere. I think Ben Albright maybe.
Yeah.
I saw somebody was tossing that around earlier last week. So that's about it for the Pro Bowl, though. I don't have much else to talk about. I guess.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
I guess we'll normally here we would transition into the coming up week's game, which is the Super Bowl. But as you all know, we are not going to talk about that tonight. Because we got the live Super Bowl show coming up this Sunday, 2 o'clock Central Time on Facebook
Tune
Live. Tune in, man. It's going to be so much fun. If you haven't had a chance to do so, go find us on Twitter at All Pro Nation and at Facebook at All Pro Nation. Share the pinned tweet at the top with the flyer for the Super Bowl live show. If you share that gets your name into a drawing to win the All Pro Nation gift bag, which consists of an All Pro Nation t-shirt, Super Bowl t-shirt, Wilson's commemorative Super Bowl football, and a 1-year free subscription to the All Pro Nation Insiders page when that gets launched. So really cool gift bag. A lot of cool things you'll be able to remember the Super Bowl with. So go share that. Also on iTunes, if you go find us on iTunes, the All Pro Nation podcast, give us a 5-star review. That's 5 entries into the drawing. We got a couple hundred names in there right now. A bunch of people have done a few things multiple times, so it's getting good, man. It's getting good.
Also, to be eligible, make sure you like our page on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Oh, thank you. I always forget to mention that part. Always, yeah. To be eligible for your vote to count, you have to follow us on one of those platforms, preferably both. But if you don't use both, at least one of them. So that's going to be happening 2 o'clock Central Time. The show's going to last right at an hour or so. And then of course the playback will be available on Facebook and YouTube, and then of course an audio version on iTunes. And and there will be a live audio version going out on Mixlr.com. So go to Mixlr.com, search the All Pro Nation podcast. There'll be a link to that on Facebook and Twitter, so you can listen to an audio version of the podcast live as well. So, with that, we'll go straight into news of the week.
Mm-hmm.
So, one thing I saw come out today, Alex Smith is intrigued by the Browns' job.
Knows he'll get paid.
He will get paid very handsomely.
probably like 30 a year, maybe.
He will get paid handsome. I don't know about 30 a year, but he will definitely get paid. Look, he's the Alex Smith era in Kansas City's done. Patrick Mahomes, I think, showed enough in that last game that he is the heir apparent and he is ready to make that move. Alex Smith is a good quarterback. If I was the Browns or the Jaguars or the Cardinals,
Vikings,
yeah, I'd be interested in Alex Smith for sure. I'd be wanting my team to bring him in. So that's an interesting development. Of course, I could also see him going. I think personally, I think Kirk Cousins' deal is going to get done with Washington. So I think Alex Smith is going to be one of the hottest quarterbacks on the free agent market.
As soon as Cousins gets signed, Smith will be the next guy right in line there.
Right.
It'll go quickly.
Yeah. So
it's reported that the Chiefs are asking for a second-round pick in exchange for Smith. They probably would ask for a first-round pick, but he will be a free agent after the 2018 season.
Yeah.
So that's something else to keep in mind. I think you named all the teams that I would throw in there that are probably going to be in the market for him.
Yeah.
The Browns do have 2 second-round picks, so I could easily see them giving one of those up. to get him in there. And then draft a QB to learn under him for a year or whatever.
Yeah. So.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's all I have as far as that goes. As far as Alex Smith goes.
Back to the XFL. I just wanted to throw a couple other things in there. Vince McMahon says that the league will not have any cheerleaders. I've already mentioned that players with criminal records will not be allowed to play, and he is saying that players must stand for the national anthem. I don't know how people are going to handle that, but that is one difference that he is making from the NFL.
Yeah. I'll listen to Vince McMahon's press conference, and of course, the national anthem was asked 100 different times, 100 different ways, and essentially what he said was, look, he thinks the national anthem is a time-honored tradition, yada, yada, yada. There'll be rules in place, and players will be expected to abide by those rules. Essentially saying that, yeah, you will have to stand for the national anthem or you won't be welcome to play. And good God, I hope we leave national. I hope by the time they launch in 2020, we're not still debating the national anthem.
Yeah, let's hope not.
Like I hope we leave that in 2017.
Yeah,
but I'm
hoping so too.
Malcolm Jenkins is going to show his rear end on the Super Bowl. And the TV cameras can't wait. They're going to be zoomed in on Malcolm Jenkins the second the national anthem starts playing.
Yeah, he's been strong about it all year.
Yeah, he's been strong, and so it's look. And it's not that I disagree with it. I just think there's a better way to handle it all. We're not going to get into all that.
Right.
Go back and listen.
Sports and politics.
Yeah, go back and listen to a past podcast, Separation of Sport and State. We talked about it. But
Nick's laughing right now.
Yeah, Nick is dying. Anyway, so
going into some more news. The Redskins re-signed linebacker Mason Foster to a 2-year deal. He was set to become a free agent.
Uh-huh.
It's a good get for them.
Yeah, I expected that would get done.
Ravens cornerback Marlon Humphrey just finished his rookie season, and he was arrested last week on robbery charges in Alabama.
Oh, wow.
So
I missed that one.
It could be a suspension coming his way. If it's not from the league, it'll be from the team, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Some sad news out of Buffalo. Bills center Eric Wood played every single game this year. Every game he's ever played in, actually. He's never missed a start. He has suffered a career-ending neck injury, and he has been forced to retire.
Man, yeah.
So Buffalo is in the market for a new center. I know the past couple weeks we've been talking, well, actually pretty much all season, we were talking about what the Giants are going to be doing with Eli Manning next year.
Mm-hmm.
Pat Shurmur, Giants' new head coach, says he can't wait to get to work with Eli Manning.
I think it's the biggest load of bull crap I've ever heard.
You think that's smoke?
No, I don't think it's smoke. I think he really is going to play. I think he really is excited to work with him, and I really think Eli Manning is going to be the starting quarterback for the New York Giants next year. And I really do think that that's going to set the franchise back a couple years. So I think it's a terrible move. I think Pat Shurmur's off to a terrible start.
Mm-hmm.
I think he needed to be. Look, McAdoo already did the hard thing. He already benched Eli Manning, right?
Mm-hmm.
McAdoo did the dirty work already. So why not just keep it going? Look, we're keeping all options available. We're probably going to draft a quarterback. I would draft a quarterback. I would let there be a competition between the drafted quarterback, Davis Webb, Tyrod Taylor, and Eli Manning. Or even trade Eli Manning away and get an additional draft pick. Get something for him.
Mm-hmm.
And let Pat Shurmur start on a new foot. I think it's terrible, and unfortunately, with that news, I can't help but think that Pat Shurmur is destined to fail as a head coach again.
I could see that.
I feel that strongly about Eli Manning not being the quarterback.
I mean, I could see it. Could see it being smoke. Just because, as a head coach, I feel like you should be wanting to start fresh. I mean, he might come out and say he's excited to work with Eli Manning, but I don't know if I actually believe that.
Yeah.
He just doesn't want to step on anybody's toes before he gets into the office. The Giants just seem destined to take a QB at 2, whether it's Sam Darnold or Josh Rosen.
Yeah.
But I mean, you get a rookie QB in there. I mean, Pat Shurmur gets to start fresh with a rookie quarterback. Teach him. And,
honestly, I thought he was going to bring one of the 3 from Minnesota with him.
Yeah, I mean, he still could. I mean, if they want to go after like Saquon Barkley, maybe if they're going to go a different position, they need an offensive lineman badly. It could go Quentin Nelson at number 2. If they do decide to get rid of Eli, I could see Sam Bradford maybe coming there on a 1-year deal, or maybe Case Keenum. I don't know. That's free agent talk, but that is something I did want to bring up this week. I was kind of interested, or that caught my eye when he said that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's garbage, but it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
A couple weeks removed after the Seattle-Dallas game, Earl Thomas is now coming out saying he wants to finish his career with the Seahawks, and he is open to a contract restructure or mentor or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, I saw it on Trade Rumors last week.
I did see that.
If that's the right fit, I think that's what he said.
Yeah. I did see that Matt Khalil of Carolina Panthers, or Ryan. Not Matt Khalil, Ryan Khalil.
His brother Ryan, yep.
Yeah, Ryan Khalil is going to retire after next season.
Mm-hmm.
Probably. I guess you could kind of see that coming because he kind of struggled with health this year.
Staying healthy. Yep. See, the Panthers are dangerously close from having to rebuild their O-line if they don't figure something out this offseason and get a plan set in place.
Yeah.
Because Matt Khalil at left tackle is a turd.
Yeah.
Andrew Norwell is going to be the highest sought-out free agent, in my opinion. I could see him maybe actually going to New York, joining Pat Shurmur. They're going to be in the market for a lineman. But he might be gone next year. Ryan Khalil's back for 1 more year. They have nobody after him. They got Try Turner and who's their right tackle? I'm drawing a blank, but I mean that's two centerpieces of your offensive line that are going to probably have to be replaced within the next year. So that could set them back.
They definitely need to upgrade at left tackle. God.
Yeah, Matt Khalil is not good.
He's garbage. And then
never has been.
and then Ryan Khalil this year. I mean, he was in and out the lineup so much, and even when he was in there, he wasn't playing his best football anymore. So, I think the writing was on the wall that he was going to be retiring pretty soon. So, go ahead.
The Cardinals have hired Broncos offensive coordinator Mike McCoy to be their offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
This past week, I don't know if I like that hire.
I mean, I think I would have liked it a lot more if Carson Palmer was going to be around, but we saw what he was able to do development-wise with quarterbacks this year in Denver. So it wasn't pretty.
Ben Roethlisberger has reportedly told multiple teammates that he wants to play 3 more years.
3?
That's what he said.
So he went from contemplating retirement last year to now wanting to play 3 more.
3 more years.
Interesting.
I mean, honestly, I don't believe that'll happen, but
yeah,
I'm surprised he used that number instead of at least 1 more year.
Yeah, we'll see. That
came out at the Pro Bowl. Actually, I think Cameron Hayward might have been the one that leaked that out.
I love what Mike Vrabel is doing in Tennessee. watch out. Tennessee had a really good team this year. I mean, they made it to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see they hired Matt LaFleur as their offensive coordinator?
Yeah, that's a good hire.
That's a great hire. You know, I mean,
for Marcus Mariota's development.
Yeah, we just saw what the Rams were able to do this past year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of that had to do with Sean McVay, but LaFleur had his hands in on that as well. So that's big, and then of course Dean Pest was brought in to be the defensive coordinator. So
yeah, they got something brewing. They just got to put the pieces together now.
Yeah, and I love Matt LaFleur. I mean, I was kind of shocked that not Matt LaFleur, Mike Vrabel. I was kind of shocked. He was kind of not the candidate I was expecting, but he's been kind of like the newest up and comer lately. Mm-hmm. And I really like him, and I was a little harsh on him last week. I kind of said it was kind of a bit crappy hire. But I'm looking at
I think he'll be well respected.
Yeah, I'm looking at the team he's putting together, and I'm like, you know, Vrabel comes from Bill Belichick. You know, he played for New England. You know, he worked under Bill O'Brien, who comes out of that Bill Belichick coaching tree. So, who knows? Who knows?
He's been there. He knows what it takes.
Yeah, for sure. Darren Sproles is coming back for another season.
Yep, I saw that. His teammate Jason Peters also says he's going to play in 2018, coming off an injury.
Really? Okay.
He's getting up there in the years. I think he's going to be like 36 or something next year. He's old.
And then with Carson Wentz being back next year, Eagles will be a really good team again next year.
Speaking of Carson Wentz, have you seen I don't think it's anybody relevant, but I saw a tweet like flying around on Twitter. I think a bunch of Vikings fans were retweeting it and stuff. But an Eagles fan, said that there should be a quarterback controversy in Philadelphia if Nick Foles wins the Super Bowl.
Get out of
here. Yeah, I was laughing.
Mark my words. If Nick Foles wins the Super Bowl, it will have nothing to do with Nick Foles.
Oh, coaching and defense, probably.
The only thing Nick Foles can do to win that Super Bowl is not turn the ball over.
Mm-hmm.
That will be the only thing that you can give him credit for if they win the Super Bowl. So,
I just thought that was really funny. The Broncos are expected to field trade offers for Aqib Talib this season.
Yeah, I saw that. That's interesting.
Yeah, that is super interesting. I saw. Oh crap! Who was the team that got thrown out there? That was expected to pursue. I think it was the Packers, actually. I can't remember. I don't think it was Green Bay. I can't remember. Benjamin Albright, he's actually from Denver. He also said that Aqib Talib is not the only Broncos big-name player that's going to be on the market, but he would not specify who the other player was. I'm guessing it's probably Demaryius Thomas, but I don't know that for sure.
Now, question. Broncos have plenty of players they could trade for to get good draft picks. Are they looking to draft a quarterback?
Oh, they have to be.
I would think so, too.
I mean, Osweiler's a free agent. He won't be back. Paxton Lynch will probably stay. I don't know. I don't know what you do with your boy Simeon. You'd probably cut him or keep him, but I would think that they'd maybe – I've heard that they were strong candidates to go after Kirk Cousins this offseason.
Yeah.
So even Alex Smith maybe, if they want to trade a second-round pick, get Alex Smith. I know I mentioned that towards the end of the season there actually, that he might be a candidate for Denver. Yeah. But I would think it doesn't have to be a high draft pick, but I think at some point in the draft they're probably going to want to pick somebody up and maybe see if they can groom them.
Yeah.
Because it's a pretty good QB class. It's nothing fantastic, but it's fairly deep.
Yeah. One of the most BS events of the week was Barry Church was fined $24,000 for his hit on Gronkowski that ended up giving him a concussion and knocking him out the game.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was a clean hit, personally.
Well, seems like anybody that gets a concussion anymore is usually fine.
Yeah. So that happened. But good news for Patriots fans, Gronkowski is back at practice and cleared. I figured he would be, but he did sit out of practice all week last week. And I think yesterday was his first day back. So that's exciting news for the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, outside of that, I can't think of any other news things that we've missed out on.
The Jaguars and the Titans are both getting new uniforms and helmets in 2018. That is set to be unveiled in April.
The Jaguars need it.
Yeah, their two-tone helmets are pretty ugly.
They need it. I don't know. I kind of like the two-tone helmet when they first. What was that? They just came out with those. What, maybe 4?
Oh, it was like 2 years ago.
3 years.
Yeah, I think it was earlier than that. Yeah, it was very recent.
And I was like, okay, like that's a nice upgrade. But now I look at them and I'm like, their uniforms could definitely use.
Yeah, I think they had players complaining about it. To be honest with you, I know Blake Bortles said something 2 years ago. I think because he was complaining about like the Thursday night, like the Color Rush uniforms they had to wear. I look like dirty mustard or something.
One other piece.
Speaking of,
go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, the one thing I was going to say is, I know Saints fans have been coming at me on Twitter a lot with this, and so Jarvis Landry just came out and straight up said it. Contract talks with the Dolphins is moving very slow and barely moving at all. So I know Saints fans are kind of hoping that they can lure Landry back to Louisiana and be in the black and gold next year, and it's day by day looking more and more likely that he will be able to test free agency.
I have seen it. Looks like he is going to test free agency. I didn't really think much of New Orleans. I could see that just because he went to college at LSU. Is he from Louisiana?
Yeah, he's from Louisiana.
Okay. The two destinations that I saw popped up was Oakland and San Francisco. With Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, both would be good landing spots for him for sure.
The 49ers definitely have the cap space to get him there, so
yeah.
that'd be a great weapon for Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
Going back to the Jaguars, speaking of the uniforms and Blake Bortles, per Ian Rappaport today, the Jaguars do plan on bringing Blake Bortles back in 2018.
Ugh.
Whether or not he's the starter is to be determined.
Yeah, I don't like that move, but it is what it is, I guess.
Well, I guess considering what he did in the playoffs, they don't really have much choice.
Yeah.
That'd look pretty bad.
And the last thing I want to hit on, and I might rant on this for just a second. Mike McCarthy comes out and claims that he is energized over the new coaching staff and that him and new offensive coordinator Philbin are going to reinvent the Green Bay offense.
What does that mean?
Exactly. What does that mean? Because Philbin was the offensive coordinator in Green Bay before he left to go be the head coach of the Miami Dolphins. We've seen this pony show before between McCarthy and Philbin, and it looks just as shitty as it looked every other year. If the Packers want to reinvent their offense and not be Aaron Rodgers or nothing, Philbin was not the right offensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
McCarthy, great head coach, not a great play caller, not a good play designer, not a good offensive coordinator. And I said that McCarthy needed to hire somebody to call the plays, and he just needed to be the CEO of the Packers and just run the team. And what we're getting out of Green Bay is more of the same, and nothing's going to change, and it's still going to be Aaron Rodgers or nothing. And when he gets hurt again, we're going to see the same thing we just saw this year, and I think it's unfair to football, and I think it's unfair to Aaron Rodgers and unfair to the Packers fans.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
It's good if you're a Minnesota Vikings fan, though. You probably love it.
I do like that. I don't know if I like the Patine hire so much. I've actually read some pretty good stats about Patine. I think when he was in Cleveland, his defense was allowing a passer rate or a completion percentage of like 50% or less than 50% or something like that.
Yeah, and
it was pretty good.
I always thought he was a good coach, and of course, the Cleveland is where coaches go to die.
That's where everyone goes to die.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I'm not going to judge him off his record as a head coach of the Cleveland Browns, but he has been in Seattle for the past couple of seasons, kind of reinventing himself, and I'm glad.
I mean, if you look at the recent history, he was actually probably the coach that had the most success. I mean, it wasn't anything great, but I think he had more wins than anybody else has in the past 20 years.
Well, not Marvin Lewis. Hugh Jackson has one win in 2 seasons.
And he got brought back.
He's 1-31. Like, how does that happen? How do you keep a job? So.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah. And like anyone didn't see it coming, John Lynch did say that they would be re-signing Jimmy Garoppolo. Like anyone thought that was a question.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you have any other little news tidbits?
I don't have any more news, but I do have one more thing I completely forgot about that I do want to touch on because it'll be too late on Sunday.
Okay.
The NFL Awards show is on Saturday night, and I would like to get your insight on what you think for some of the awards.
Okay.
I guess we could start with MVP.
Tom Brady.
Yeah, I think Brady too.
Hold on. Do I think he's deserving of the award? Absolutely not. Do I think he's going to win it? Yes.
Yeah.
I still think Carson Wentz should win MVP.
Yeah, Carson Wentz and Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson just couldn't get it done. He couldn't do enough at the end of the year, I think, to secure his spot, but he had no help. So I have to go Brady too. So
okay. What's the next one?
Next one is Offensive Player of the Year.
Offensive Player of the Year. I'm intrigued.
I think it's between 2 guys.
I'm intrigued to give that to. Russell Wilson. I don't think he's going to get it. Offensive Player of the Year. Let me think.
I think it's down to 2 guys. I don't know if he's going to win it, but I think it's going to come down Antonio Brown. He had by far the best year in a receiver.
Yeah.
And Todd Gurley, the running back for the Rams, really turned it on at the end of the year. So that's going to be my pick. I'm going with Gurley.
Yeah, if I had to put my money on, I don't know. Antonio Brown. I'm going to give it to Gurley.
He missed quite a few games.
I'm going to give it to Gurley because there was a lot of talk of him maybe getting enough votes to be MVP there at the end of the year. So I'm going to give it to Gurley just because there were enough people talking about him in the MVP vote, which is not going to happen, that I'll give the nod to him. Yeah, so I'll go Gurley with that.
This is the toughest one, in my opinion. The next one is Defensive Player of the Year.
Can I just?
I think there's like
defense?
4. Yeah, the Jacksonville defense. That's right. I think there's 4 or 5 players that are probably pretty deserving of this award.
So I'm gonna throw out a couple names and tell me if they match any of your 4.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Jalen Ramsey.
Okay. That's not one of mine, but go ahead.
Not one of yours, okay. I'm going to go Calais Campbell.
Yep.
I'm going to go Fletcher Cox.
Nope.
I'm going to go Cameron Jordan.
Really? Are you being a homer?
No, I really think he's deserving of it.
Man, you are really something.
Jalen Ramsey, Calais Campbell, Fletcher Cox, Cameron Jordan. I'm going to name one more. I'm going to go
I'm completely insulted that you haven't named this Viking yet.
Oh, I'm not naming a Viking.
Unreal.
I'm not naming Xavier Rhodes. I'm not naming
No,
Harrison Smith. I'm not naming Daniil Hunter.
definitely Harrison Smith. Harrison Smith is definitely a candidate.
I don't think so.
Safeties never win it, but he is definitely deserving.
Maybe DeMarcus
go ahead.
Lawrence.
Yeah, I could see Lawrence probably being a candidate.
That's kind of what I'm thinking right now.
My 4 are Harrison Smith,
Okay.
Viking safety, Aaron Donald, defensive tackle for the Rams, because I honestly believe without Donald in the middle there, they would be nothing.
Okay.
He makes such a difference. He can single-handedly wreck games. Calais Campbell, I think we agree on that one. And then I could see DeMarcus Lawrence and maybe Bobby Wagner. Bobby Wagner had a good year.
Yeah.
He kind of slouched off towards the end of the year, but they lost quite a few key pieces in the second half of the season.
Yeah, I forgot about Wagner. Yeah, I could see him.
If I had to pick one, it's probably Calais Campbell, though.
Yeah.
Calais Campbell's probably my pick. He just had such a good year, and he was on, like you said, the Jacksonville defense should win MVP as a team whole. They were really good on all facets this year. So
yeah, absolutely.
But I'm going with Campbell.
Okay.
NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Alvin Kamara.
Yep, I agree. Offensive and Defensive Rookie of the Year really aren't that tough. Kareem Hunt made a nice little push at the end of the year, but I think Kamara should still win it pretty handily. Defensive Rookie of the Year, you said Lattimore already. I agree with that as well. I don't really think anybody else comes close to competing with that. Solomon Thomas, maybe Myles Garrett, but Lattimore and Kamara, the two Saints.
Yep.
Excellent draft class. What else do we got? Head Coach of the Year.
Doug Peterson.
It's tough because
actually, no, I'm going to take that back because the votes were cast before the playoffs.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
And
if it was now, if they were cast now before the Super Bowl, I would say Doug Peterson. But since they were cast right after the season, I would probably say Sean McVay.
Yeah, I would. Yeah. Sean McVay or Mike Zimmer.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with McVay just because of the turnaround that team had. Yeah. They were worst offense in the league last year, and now I think they were top 5 for sure. I don't know what they finished, but they were top 5.
Yeah, they finished number 1 scoring offense.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
I think that's all the awards. Comeback Player of the Year. I don't even know who the candidates are for that, but I think that's the only other award.
Comeback Player of the Year. Let's see.
Did anybody?
Maybe Jared Goff.
I don't know if I'd say comeback though. He's more of like a breakout. I guess you could label him as a comeback, but he seems like more of a breakout player to me.
Yeah. I can't think of any. Yeah, that one's hard. I don't. And then what about the Walter Payton Man of the Year? That's.
I can't really judge that just because I don't really pay much attention to what players do off the field.
Yeah.
You might. You got anybody for that?
No, I don't. Let's see. The 3 finalists were Greg Olsen, Ben Watson, and
did Ben Watson won it last year? Didn't he?
No, he didn't. No, he's never.
Who won it last year?
Baltimore Raven, I think. I want to say someone from the Ravens won it last year.
Ben Watson is from the Ravens.
Yeah, but he was on IR last year.
Oh.
I don't know if that counts. I don't know if that counts. Oh, so he was nominated last year and he didn't, so it wouldn't have been Ravens. Let's see. I got this handy dandy computer in front of me. let's see. Last year's Walter Payton of the year was. Oh, that's right. It was. It was shared by Larry Fitzgerald and Eli Manning.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Anquan Boldin won it in 2016. Um, Thomas Davis in 2015. So this year's three finalists are going to be J.J. Watt, Greg Olson, and Ben Watson. Oh, it's got to be J.J. Watt.
J.J. Watt's got it locked.
He's got to be. If he doesn't win it after everything he did for Hurricane Harvey, then I don't. It's got to be him. There's no question.
Yeah, J.J. Watt without a doubt.
Yeah.
I got one more thing to close up the show on my part.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask you a really tough question. You're gonna just have to name these off the top of your head.
Okay.
The 6 Hall of Fame finalists will be named on Saturday night as well.
Okay.
I'm gonna go through the Hall of Fame finalists right now, and or semifinalists, whatever. And I want you to pick the 6 you think are most deserving.
Ooh. Okay, I'm ready.
All right. Wide receiver Randy Moss.
Okay.
Linebacker Ray Lewis.
Okay.
Wide receiver Terrell Owens.
Okay.
Linebacker Brian Urlacher.
Okay.
Cornerback Ty Law.
Okay.
I'm actually shocked. I thought he would have got in last year. Safety Brian Dawkins.
Okay.
Running back Edgerrin James. Safety John Lynch. Wide receiver Isaac Bruce. Center Kevin Mawai. Tackle Tony Baselli. Guard Alan Faneca. Guard Steve Hutchinson. Tackle Joe Jacoby. Cornerback Everson Walls. That's really tough because there's really a lot of good players there that aren't going to make it in.
It's really tough, but here you go. Ray Lewis gets in. Brian Urlacher gets in.
I should actually write these down and see if you get them right.
Okay. Ray Lewis, Brian Urlacher.
You think Urlacher's going to make it? Wow.
Randy Moss, Terrell Owens. Tony Baselli. And then I've got a two-way tie for that 6th seed.
You can only pick one.
I'm going to go Ty Law.
All right.
I want to go Brian Dawkins really bad, but safeties are hard to make it into the Hall of Fame.
Extremely. That's probably actually one of the tougher positions, that and corner.
And kicker.
And kicker and punter.
It took Morton Anderson forever to get in. God, yeah. I really want to say Brian Dawkins, but I just And then
the one guy I feel really bad for is Isaac Bruce. Because he's very deserving, but he's competing with Randy Moss and Terrell Owens, and that's just not going to happen.
Randy Moss and Terrell Owens have to go in. Terrell Owens didn't make it last year. He's got to get in this year. Randy Moss, this is his first year of eligibility, isn't it?
Yeah, it would be a crime if he doesn't get in.
Yeah, it really would be. Ray Lewis, I mean, he just transcended the game. But here's the problem, man. There's also so many offensive linemen. Like, I just picked Baselli, but I mean, really any of them could get in. Man, true.
My 6 are I'm gonna go with Randy Moss, Terrell Owens, Ray Lewis. I know those 3, we got those matching. I also have Ty Law. And then I also have Baselli. So the one guy I'm going to switch out from you have Urlacher, I'm going to go with Alan Faneca.
Okay.
So that's the only difference.
Yeah, the offensive. This is a strong offensive line class. I could see Kevin Mulway getting in too, man. Like,
yeah, it's tough. Edgerrin James, he was a good running back too.
Yeah.
He'll get in. He just won't be. I think that he's a first ballot. Or no, is he first ballot?
Yeah, this is his first.
No, he's been out of the league for a while.
Is he? Okay.
I could be wrong. I don't know.
Man, once these guys are out, then it's like, man, how long have they been out of the league? Is this their first year of eligibility or not? I always forget. Yeah.
I want to say that there's no way he's.
I'm glad to see there's not a coach on this or an owner on this list that's going to take the place of a good player.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. I'm eager to see what 6 are going to be included.
Yep.
So, all right then. I guess that'll end it for this show. A little bit shorter show this week. Please do not forget Sunday 2:00 Central Time on Facebook Live. You can find us at All Pro Nation. We'll have the link up on Twitter. You can catch the live Super Bowl pregame show with me and Tanner. It is going to be super fun. We've been really working hard on this, so you're going to really enjoy it. So be sure to check it out. Be sure to follow us or like us on Facebook and Twitter so you can be eligible for the contest. And to get into the contest, all you have to do is share that post. You can share it as many times as you want. On both Facebook and Twitter. Go to iTunes, leave a 5-star review. That gets you 5 entries. You do all of that, get you in, and then you can win the All Pro Nation t-shirt, the Super Bowl t-shirt, the Super Bowl football, and the 1-year free subscription when we launch the All Pro Nation Insiders page. So that's going to be super fun. Be sure to check that out. Also, check us out at allpronation.com where fans have a voice. If you're interested in getting your voice out there and be heard, go sign up to be a writer at allpronation.com. You can find me on Twitter at 318realty. You can find Tanner on Twitter at purple_post. And, of course, you can find us on Twitter at allpronation. So, with that, we will see you guys on Sunday. Peace.
See you then.